Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode we'll be fixing the boost references for the boost gauges, and we're going to be playing around with the wastegate duty cycles. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I've got to change one of the boost gauges over because I forgot that I tapped into it under the dash. So we've got to bring one up to this one. So the GFB will come up to this one here, and then everything should be sorted. Alright, so I got the T out from under here, so I just got to get a joiner to go from under there, come up through the firewall to this T, which I should probably swap for this T. Alright, finally got the GT35 back onto the GFB. That took forever. Now it's about 11:15 and I can't be bothered doing anything tonight, so we'll come back tomorrow. Alright guys, it's the next night and I got some good news. I got an email just after work saying that my cams are on their way from Queensland down to me, so we'll have our stage 2 cams shortly. Then we're going to get the sump and ignition. I'm going to do GTR coils, so got to get them in. So I won't be taking the engine out straight away. I want to get this tune kind of sorted a bit and drive it around for a little bit, break it in. This weekend I'll probably change the oil. I should change the oil. Yeah, so got to work this morning, took my laptop, just have a look at the logs that I did from last episode where I drove to work and back, and I had a look at the boost control and I saw that it had a straight line and then it went up. Like, why is nothing happening? And I looked at the boost delay. 2000 RPM had a 3-second delay. 3000 it had like a 2.5 second delay. So I'm going through those rev ranges and completely missing the boost. So I've changed it down to 0.5 second delay, so hopefully that makes a difference. So I'm going to put that into the Haltech and go for a drive, see how it goes. Alright, so I actually changed the boost control delay to 0.1 of a second, so it should happen straight away. I don't know if I told you, yesterday I changed this back, the duty cycle back down to 10, which is the minimum. So on preset 1, our duty cycle is 10. Duty cycle for this, I've put it to 95, so it's pretty much closed. A little bit open so we get a bit of airflow to stop the surging, the compressor surge. So that's up to 4000, so as soon as it gets over 4000 it'll start to drop off. It'll drop off quite quickly because the GT35 should be picking up by then. So we'll have to have a look at this map here. So we've got map, boost targets, RPM, throttle position, and boost control duty cycle. So this is the diagram that I saw, the table that I saw, that I ended up picking up that there was a delay going on. So that's all changed. So I'll move some cars out of the driveway and we'll go for a drive. Alright, so it's the first time I've had it running since changing the gauges over again. So we've got overall, so we've got vacuum, that's manifold, so map. Then we've got TD05, and then over on the GFB we have the GT35. We've got duty cycle at 10, which is the minimum, and 95 duty cycle for the TD05 until 4000 RPM. So should be all TD05 until 4000, and then the GT35 will pretty much take over. So we might get a bit of a drop, so that's what we're going to try to tune. We're at 77 degrees on the coolant, so I'm going to start reversing out of the driveway. Alright guys, I'm logging already. So if this doesn't work out, the power steering is playing up. It's like, once it's warm, it's okay. So maybe the lines I've made are too small. If I'm still getting this compressor surge, I might get rid of that wastegate up pipe. If I get rid of that, I'll change the power steering lines back to the stock ones. Doing it. Gonna change duty cycle. Let's see if that changes anything. %, duty cycle, target 10. Maybe I'm just being a bit of a pussy and not putting my foot down. I haven't heard the GT35 sound like that before. Alright, this has got me puzzled. On my other setups of the compound system, being able to get boost like that, should I just go back to the internal? Have the health deck controlling the GT35 and then just have it just wastegate spring, so 7 psi going through the TDO5. Actually got a couple of wastegates. I think I got the TDO4, which is a 7, and the TDO5 was, I think, 15. Yeah, no, obviously with a tuner would be able to do it. I'd probably just punch it in straight away, but it is completely different. Like, should I just set all the duty cycle to 0 on the health deck? Bit confused. I'm going to go inside and have a look at the logs, probably the last one, because that was the best. Yeah, come back tomorrow, I guess. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this episode. I think I'm really struggling with the whole boost side of it because of that wastegate's up pipe. It's just too long, and I think there's too much turbulent air in the back side of the TDO5, so it's really struggling to build boost. So I might go back to the internal gate, so we'll get the fuzz back in here and start tearing it down over the next week. We should have the cams in next week, but I won't be putting them in. Still got to get a couple more things. I'll have to get shims for the buckets as well, because I do have the shim on bucket, not just a full bucket. So there's a guy that does them locally, which is pretty good. Plus I still got my old ones, so just need to measure them all up. Hopefully I've got them, maybe not, but anyway, I've got a sump I need to get and ignition coils I need to get. So I like to get it running properly first before I put the cams in. So yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, keep watching up here, and I'll catch you next episode. Pretty busy this weekend, so maybe not a forest episode, maybe a highball car meet from last weekend will be Monday's episode. So I'll see you next episode on Thursday. Bye.